responsorial psalm. Lord, teach me your statutes. Lord, teach me your statutes. How shall a young man be faultless in his way? By keeping to your words. Lord, teach me your statutes. With all my heart I seek you. Let me not stray from your commandments. Lord, teach me your statutes. Within my heart I treasure your promise, that I may not sin against you. Lord, teach me your statutes. Blessed are you, O Lord. Teach me your statutes. Lord, teach me your statutes. With my lips I declare all the ordinances of your mouth. Lord, teach me your statutes. In the way of your decrees I rejoice, as much as in all riches. Lord, teach me your statutes. Please stand. Alleluia, alleluia, alleluia. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Jesus raised his eyes to heaven and said, Holy Father, I pray not only for these, but also for those who will believe in me through their word, so that they may all be one. As you, Father, are in me and I in you, that they also may be in us, that the world may believe that you sent me. And I have given them the glory you gave me, so that they may be one as we are one, I in them and you in me, that they may be brought to perfection as one, that the world may know that you sent me, and that you loved them even as you loved me. Father, they are your gift to me. I wish that where I am, they also may be with me, that they may see my glory that you gave me, because you loved me before the foundation of the world. Righteous Father, the world also does not know you, but I know you, and they know that you sent me. I may know to them your name, and I will make it known, that the love with which you loved me may be in them, and I in them. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Happy feast day to St. Bernard to everybody. Very excited for the feast day, and it's wonderful to have so many people at this daily Mass as well. People making a habit of coming to the daily Mass. Bienvenidos a todos para la fiesta de San Bernardo. Today is the feast day of St. Bernard, so one of the things we will be doing during the offertory, which is typical at our daily Mass, is we will be singing the Salve Regina. There are little white sheets in the back of the church that have the words to that. St. Bernard wrote the last line of the Salve Regina. The Salve Regina is just the Hail Holy Queen prayer, right? And it's in Latin. It's basically the most famous song in Catholic history. So we'll be singing that during the offertory in a special way in memory of St. Bernard. St. Bernard was known for his Marian devotion, and thus he wrote that last line of the prayer, that Mary is most clement, most loving, and most sweet, and that she prays for us. St. Bernard, there's a lot of things about St. Bernard that are very impressive. Before I was assigned here at St. Bernard 4 years ago, I didn't really know a whole lot about St. Bernard, but ever since coming here and learning more about him, he really is a pretty amazing example in church history, and a very special saint that we have in our parish. He was known for a number of things. As I said, he was known for his devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary. He's known because he preached about the Second Crusade in the 1000s, and for that reason, some people have kind of a negative opinion about him. Many people misunderstand what the Crusades were. The Crusades was not a war to convert people. The Crusades was a war to defend innocent Christians who were living in the Holy Land, who were being enslaved and imprisoned and put into slavery. And so the Pope called for Christians to go over to the Holy Land and basically restore order in the Holy Land. And it was a great sacrifice for most of the Crusaders. Most of the Crusaders who went, they probably never saw their family again. It was a very long journey to the Holy Land, and it cost them a lot of money as well to do all that traveling. So it was a tremendous sacrifice. And so for that, St. Bernard sometimes gets a bad rap. There's other things about St. Bernard that are very inspiring. St. Bernard, he was one of the most charismatic personalities of his age. He's one of those people who just found himself in the limelight, not really on purpose, but basically his charisma kept putting him out into the limelight. He was, in his age, you might think that he was kind of like a Fulton Sheen, right, of his day. Right? Fulton Sheen had his TV show, had all those books that he wrote, and he was just out in the public arena. St. Bernard was a similar personality in his day. Everybody knew about him, and his word and his teachings spread throughout Europe. St. Bernard was also known for his leadership and for his vision, and also that he was kind of radical. St. Bernard, when he was coming of age and he realized he wanted to pursue the priesthood, he chose basically the most radical monastery of his age. In the 1000s, monasteries had become a place of luxury, as I was talking about last weekend with St. Thomas Aquinas. It's kind of what it was like. And so St. Bernard refused to go to any of those monasteries, and he went to a monastery that was basically known for its radical discipline and austerity. So much so that his family actually thought that he was becoming kind of an extremist. And so they tried to convince him not to go. And famously, they sent a bunch of his cousins to go and dissuade him, and St. Bernard convinced all of his cousins to actually join this austere monastery with him. Right? So power of persuasion. St. Bernard is also known for his ability to reform. In our modern age, sometimes we don't really understand what that means. In our modern age, we talk about the Protestant Reformation, for example. But it wasn't really a reformation, it was more like a revolution. Some of those Protestants, they had issues with some of the corruption they saw in the church, and so they went and they founded their own church. A true reformer is somebody who does not leave, but reforms from within. And there's always a need for reformers in the church, because there's always a temptation for people in the church to become too relaxed, too lukewarm in their faith. And so we're always in need of great reformers. And St. Bernard in his day was a tremendous reformer. Not only did he found the monastery in Clairvaux, but then he ended up founding over 70 other monasteries that were basically reforming the church in his age. St. Bernard, not only was he a reformer, but he gives us an example of what it means to reform the church. To reform the church doesn't mean that we just simply criticize and we complain. To reform the church doesn't mean that we leave parishes we don't like and we go to another. What St. Bernard chose to do, his way of reforming, was giving himself radically over to Christ. He didn't reform the church by starting a bunch of new programs and teaching a bunch of new classes, right? He reformed the church by making his monastery radically devoted to holiness. That every person in his monastery had to be tremendously committed to a deep personal relationship with God and a commitment to serve his church in holiness. That's really the heart of reform that we can learn from St. Bernard. If we want our parishes to stop dying, if we want them to keep growing, it starts with us, individually, being more radically devoted to Christ with our whole heart and our whole mind.